Hi, I'm Jonathan with LazyLizard.net. We're a web hosting company, and because of that, I do a lot of typing. And because of that, I needed a new keyboard. I've been using the Microsoft Natural 4000, whatever they call it, for 12, 15 years, a long, long time. I loved it. The problem was I had to get a new one every month because I typed so much that the keys would start off very nice and comfortable to type on, some people call it soft and squishy. I like that because it's very soft. It's not like typing on rocks like some of the mechanical keyboards are. But after about a month, I typed so much, it would wear out and I would have to get a new one. So every month I'm getting a new one, $35, $45, depending on when you buy it. The price always changed, but it was up to $45. If you get 10 or 12 of those a year, you've spent $400 a year on keyboards. So I started looking around. I heard about mechanical keyboards. I thought, oh, okay, I'll give that a try. I heard the keys last a lot longer. And apparently because they're mechanical and they don't type on a pad kind of thing, rubber pad kind of thing, they last a lot longer and they are very consistent over time, apparently. I'll find out. So anyway, I started off with a mechanical keyboard that was not ergonomic, and that drove me nuts. Because if you've been typing on an ergonomic keyboard for any length of time, you cannot go back to a flat keyboard. It's just terrible. It's terrible on your hands. Your hands lay flat. They're pushed close together. And it's just terrible. So I couldn't take it. So I sent it back. A nice keyboard, kind of cool. It had lights on it, colored lights, really neat. And I miss that now. But I looked for ergonomic mechanical keyboards, and the only one I could find that looked any good was the Kinesis. And they came in two different kinds. They had an older model that used clickety-clack keys. I think brown cherry or something like that. Anyway, I ended up getting, I believe, the red cherry. Anyway, it's their newest model. It's quiet. It's very quiet. Here, listen. No clickety-clack. That's what I like. Who wants a keyboard that's clicking at you all day? I don't. So it bothers you. It bothers everybody in the office. And we don't need that. So not around here. So I ended up with the super expensive one. It's like $350. Plus I had to get a number pad to go with it. That was an extra $35. The whole thing came to, I believe, $360. Anyway, I'm getting the prices a little wrong. The whole thing came to $350. So no, it was more. Anyway, yeah, the whole thing came to like $379, $380, something like that. Terrible. Very, very expensive. So this thing better last a long time. That's all I have to say. But anyway, I thought instead of giving a normal review for it, I won't give a full product review because people have done a great job at that. I thought it would be fun to show what it's like to type on it the first couple of days. I've had it 2 days now. And before I got it, I read a lot of reviews, and the reviews all said something along the lines of, I love the keyboard, it's awesome, but it took me a while to get used to it. And a lot of people were saying it took them about 2 weeks to get used to it. And I looked at the pictures and I thought, what are they getting used to? The keys are all in the same place. I mean, the letter keys are all in the same place, so surely it'll be easy enough. And sure enough, typing the letters is very easy. It's not a problem at all. It's the other keys that are the problem. So that was a bit of a surprise. So this is my second day, and honestly, it's driving me crazy learning to type where some of the keys are in a different spot than what you've been used to literally for 30 years. So it's hard to break old habits. That's what I found out. And you have to think. I've been having to actually think. So for instance, I press Shift Control Z to bring up a program that I have, and on the old keyboard, I just instantly, with one hand, go boop, and it types it, brings up the program. I don't even know what keys I'm pressing anymore. So when I got this, and the keys were all in a different place, the control keys are in a different place, which I hate so far. But I had to actually think, wait, what keys did I press? Shift, Alt, Shift, Control? What was it? Very hard to remember. I'm actually having to remember the keys that I pressed. You know, your hands get used to pressing these things, and you don't think about it anymore. You don't even know what key you're pressing. You just know you go in this combination with these fingers and those fingers and that, and whatever you need comes up on the screen. So now I'm actually having to slow down a lot at certain points to figure out what keys I had to press to bring up certain things. So other than that, though, I love the keyboard. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to stick with it. I know I will learn it eventually, and I will love it because today, on my second day, the keys that you type words with, the letter keys, are excellent. They are all in exactly the right spot. They are easy to press, and however they designed this thing, they designed it in a way that minimizes typos. I typed something about this long on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about, like this long, I don't know, a couple hundred words on Facebook today, responding to somebody. And when I finished, I thought, go back and read that and see how many typos you had. I had one typo. Normally, in something that length, I would have had 8 or 10 typos. On my old keyboard, the Microsoft, I wasn't even aware of it. I thought I'm getting older. I can't type as well. My fingers are less accurate than they used to be. I was always mistyping. I would hit a letter, and the second letter I would hit first, and it would come up first. And I had typos all over the place, and that was driving me crazy. I honestly didn't think this would fix that problem, but apparently it has. One typo where I would normally have 8 to 10, literally. So I'm very excited about that. So the text keys, the letters, when you type words, those aren't the problem at all. I only have one problem with it, and that's the other keys, the Alt key, the Control key, the Shift keys. All of these, no, not the Shift key, sorry. The backspace key, the Enter key, all of these are in weird different places, all right? The other thing is, and I'll show you this in a minute, but the other thing is, this is really a two-handed keyboard. You have to use two hands a lot of times to do things. Often I have to press, I had a thing I use, and I press Shift, Control, and Alt at the same time. You can't do that with one hand on this keyboard. So, or if you do, you can't press the letter under it. Like if you have to press the letter X or something under it, it's very difficult to do that. You really have to use two hands to do that. Alt, let's see, what's one we type commonly? Alt, well, anyway, I'll get to those in a minute, don't worry. I wrote them down so I can remember. But basically, other than the keys for backspace, delete, home, alt, control, end, other than those keys, everything is awesome on this keyboard. And if all I had to do was type text all day and never type or never use those keys, I would love it. I would have no problem at all. But I'm a person who came from using computers in the late 80s where everything was done on the keyboard. So I've always been used to doing everything with the keyboard. And when you do that, you use a lot of those keys often, all day long. I use them. Alt, home, end, control, all those keys, I use them all day long. So that's been slowing me down. I know eventually I will learn where they are, but I can already see that even after I learn where they are, it's still going to slow me down a little or it's going to annoy me at least, because you have to use two hands for a lot of things I'm used to using one hand for. So let's take a look at the keyboard and I will show you me trying to type. Okay, well, the first thing I've learned is it's a lot harder to set up a couple of keyboards on a desk for a camera to view than I thought it was. I just spent 10 minutes getting this set up and the camera put on the desk. Anyway, first of all, the keyboard comes with these nice soft little pads that you can stick onto it after you pull it out of the box. I did that and that's working really good. I like it, it's very comfortable. Okay, so I'm putting this next to the Microsoft 4000 because I want to do a little comparison between this and a normal keyboard. So first of all, here's the thing. If I want to hit Control End on the Microsoft very easily with one hand, right? If I want to hit Control End on this one, I can do it with this hand, but your hand feels like it's turned backwards. So you're like this on the keyboard, and then you have to go like this and kind of twist your hand around to the right to make it work. Or you can do a two-handed thing and hit Control here and End here. So the nice thing is it has control on both sides, but it only has Alt on one side. Now they say you can change, you can reprogram the keys and, customize them to your liking. But there's not a lot of keys left over here. I mean, this is the Windows key, which you need sometimes. So I don't want to put an Alt key over here, although I wouldn't mind having an Alt key on this side. I may do that at some point. But that is one of the little quirky things. Another thing that's really driving me crazy are the arrow keys. The arrow keys are left and right arrow here, right under the C and V, and the up and down arrows over here with the other hand. Now on this keyboard, any regular keyboard, you can hit all the arrow keys at one time very easily. So it's no big deal. And Control Home. So that's right here, Control Home on this keyboard. But it's just weird. I'm used to hitting Control Home and spreading my whole hand out to do it like that. But over here, it's like pinch your fingers together and do it like that. So it's a little weird. That'll take some getting used to for sure. Now, a problem that I've had is the Alt arrow keys. When you want to go back or forward on a website, like you've been visiting a few pages and you want to go back, I always hit the Alt key and the left arrow key. But you can see you're looking basically from the view of my eyes. When I put my thumb, or thumb I guess, on the Alt key, I can't see the arrow key because my hand is blocking it. So, once you learn where it is, you'll figure it out. But it's a little convoluted. Look how much easier this is. Just boom, boom. You can see your hand the whole time. The two keys you're going to press are right here. So it's very easy. Just Alt arrow, Alt right arrow, up and down, whatever. It's all there. I don't know. This thing needs more keys. I wish they had some arrow keys in here, actually. That would actually make it a little more pleasant, I think. Another thing, you select Control A to select all, okay? You're typing here, Control A. It's fine, except you can't really see. You have to move your hand around, move your head, make sure you're hitting the A, not something else. Here you can see the key at all times, Control A, very easy to press. And that makes it a little hard to get used to, actually. It's those kinds of things that make it hard to get used to. So here's the other weird thing. On Facebook, I have a thing called Social Fixer that fixes Facebook and makes it so you can do things like, on Facebook, if you press enter, it'll submit your comment. Well, this makes it so it won't submit your comment. It will actually make a new line. And if you want to submit your comment, you press Control Enter. Very easy, right? Okay, so this is day 2, and I'm telling you what my first 2 days were like. This is not a problem that I won't be able to get over. This I will be able to figure out and get used to eventually. But when I want to hit Control Enter, the first day yesterday, when I wanted to hit Control Enter, on this keyboard, I'm just used to going to these two keys and pressing. I don't even think about it anymore. I honestly don't even realize what key I'm pressing. I know I'm pressing Enter, but I don't know if I'm pressing Control or Shift or maybe even Alt. I wasn't sure. So when you start with this keyboard, since all these buttons are in a different place, you have to think, now what did I press? Was it Alt? And I'm pressing Alt Enter, nothing's happening. I press Control Enter, and suddenly the comment gets submitted. Now you can see Control Enter is very easy to press, just these two keys right here. Simple. So that's no problem. But when you're first learning in the first couple of days, you have your memory, your hand has a memory that goes like this. Boom. You don't think. And then you come over here and you're going, where's the button? It should be over here. I know it's like that. And it's not there. It slows you down so much because you constantly have to think, what keys is it I was pressing exactly? Yeah, Control Enter. Okay. So that's one. Let's see, what else do I have here? Control Shift. On these keyboards, very easy. They're right next to each other. Hit them together like that, right? Or you can hit them on this side too. Very easy. On this keyboard, they're spread apart. Control Shift. And again, this hand blocks my view of this key, of the Shift key. So that makes it a little difficult and a little awkward. And it's definitely not as easy as doing this. It's just not. And, I know they say once you get used to it, it'll be fine, and I'm sure it will. But even when you're used to it, doing this or doing this, because you can't see, will never be as easy as doing that. It just won't. I'm sorry. There's no way that's ever going to be as easy. So I don't know what they could have done. Honestly, why didn't they put two control keys down here? That's what they should have done. Put a control key here, man. We're used to Control and Shift being together. So put it down. They got space for it even. So I don't know why it's not there. The other weird thing is, on this bottom, you have the Z, X, V, and B, like you should. But then you have another row of keys, a tilde and a squiggly mark and a backslash and a whatever, and your two arrow keys. I don't know. I don't know why these are here. I mean, I guess I got to have them on the keyboard somewhere. Normally, I think this one would go to the left of the 1. Yeah, that's right, up there. But they have a plus and equal sign up here, and you're used to the plus and equal sign being on the right. So now it's on the left. There's also, I actually got this number pad. You notice there's no number pad here. It could go very nicely right there, but they don't have it. So you have to buy this separately. This was $35 extra. Very nice keypad. It types very nicely. The buttons feel great, and it's very good. So I don't have any problem with that, except that it's not attached to the keyboard, and there's no way to attach it. I wish there was. If this was next to this and would stay there and was stable, I would love it. The other problem with this is it's just one more wire. And it doesn't plug into the keyboard either. So you have this extra wire, another wire, like that's all you need. Let me show you. Now I have all these wires over here. Look at that. Tons of extra wires. So that is a bit of a problem too. Now, another thing is the C key here. Look, when I type here, now this keyboard feels weird after 2 days. I always hit the C with my index finger, right? C, like that. On this keyboard, you can do that, but you really got to twist your hand around. It's much easier to hit the C with your middle finger. And when you're typing words, that feels very comfortable. I honestly don't have a problem with it. The problem is that I've come to discover since using this for 2 days, a lot of words have a C and an E right next to each other. So you end up having to hit the C and the E with the same finger. That slows you down. When those combinations, E or C and E, come next to each other, you are going to get slowed down. This one, C, E. You can do it you can type 2 keys faster with 2 fingers than you can type 2 keys with the same finger. That's just the way it is. All right. Although, with all that said, I do feel that my typing is a good bit faster on this keyboard. I've been typing since, for 40 years. I'm a very fast typist. I was always the fastest in high school, and I don't know why, but anyway, I just had a knack for typing on keyboards. I always said if typing was the same as throwing a ball across a field, I would be a millionaire, because I'm very good. So the C and E, other than them being together and having to use the same finger to type both of them pretty close to the same time, the C in this position is not a problem, and in fact it feels very natural. I'm not fully used to it yet, but I can tell that I will be soon, and it won't be a problem when I am. Sometimes going from the C to the R confuses me. I hit the C with the third finger, and suddenly I would feel myself wanting to hit the R with the third finger too, for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, that's one of those things you get used to, for sure. But the C is very comfortable there. It's not really a problem. Now, another problem I have is the space bar. There's only one button for space. It's right here. And it's next to the enter key, which is a little weird, because when you want to type enter, you have to cross over this key. Your finger has to travel over the key and go to the next key. And you have to do that fairly often when you're typing. So that I don't like. The space bar here is very comfortable. It works very well. The only problem is I need a space bar on the left-hand side too, because on this keyboard, I would often use my left hand. Say I reach away with my right hand and I just go boom. I have to type a space and I type it with my left hand. You can do it with either hand. It's very nice. This one, you can only do it with your right hand. You have to have your right hand to do that. If your right hand is doing anything else, you can forget typing a space at that moment. You'll have to wait till your hand comes back. And that's a problem sometimes, especially, look, I do video editing. You use the space key to stop and start the video. And sometimes your right hand's on the mouse to select where you want to be. And you need to just click right here to start the video again or to stop it while your hand's over here on the mouse. You can't do it. You got to bring the hand back. And that causes problems sometimes too. So while I think the keyboard will eventually be faster, it's already faster for me to type just words on. So, but other things, you do a lot of other things with keyboards and type words. You use it as a video editor and you have a lot of shortcut keys and you don't type in the normal way. Over here on the Microsoft keyboard or any other normal keyboard, it's very nice to have the ability to hit the space bar with either hand. And it's nice to have the ability to hit Alt and Control with either hand. You can hit Control with either hand here, but you can't hit Alt with either hand. So those are just my little problems that I've had in the first couple of days. And I'll do another video after I get used to it and see how this goes, and I'll post it up probably in maybe 3 or 4 weeks. They say it takes about 2 weeks to really get used to it, and I can see that now. I thought that was too long, but honestly I can see that now. So anyway, well, that's a basic look at the keyboard and what it's like to type on it for the first couple of days. So when all is said and done, I really like this keyboard. It has a few quirks that I think are unnecessary. It could stand a few improvements, but all in all, it's a very good keyboard. It's very solid. You can tell the quality is there. I think it's going to last a very long time. And like I say, I am typing faster on it after just 2 days, although I do get slowed down with the bottleneck when I have to use the other keys besides the letter and number keys. But other than that, typing straight text, I am faster and I'm a lot more accurate. Actually, I'm 90% more accurate. I'm making 10% fewer typos than I did with the other keyboard for some reason. I don't even know why. Anyway, these guys obviously know what they're doing, so I'm not going to complain too much. They know a lot more about keyboard science than I do, and it is a science for sure. So that's it, the Kinesis Advantage 2 LF keyboard. If you can afford it, you should try to get it, especially if you type a lot. I think you'll like it a lot. Thanks for watching, and check out my other videos. We have a lot of videos on really internet-related things, such as using WordPress and web hosting. If you have any web hosting questions, send us a message. We'll be happy to answer you and help you with that if you need that for a website. And thanks for watching, and good luck with that new keyboard. I hope you're able to get one, and I hope you enjoy it. And if you do get one, leave us a comment and let me know how it went.